Hafiz, hurry up lah. Winter wear, you're not wearing your winter boots, right? All.
No, I just wear the top. Wait, I need to zip up.
By the end of this session, you'll be sweating inside there. But it's the things you do for content.
Definitely, we are content.
I give you 10 upon 10 for effort, Hafiz. Well done. Okay, let's start. Everybody ready? Hey guys, welcome to another episode of PixelStudio. Now you know where the team from PixelStudio share bits of information so we can learn together. It's all about discovering, learning, and enjoying as we go along. Do stay till the end of the session for some fun quiz. The aim is to reinforce what you have learned, and based on what I've shared today, we have myself, yours truly, who will share some facts about LiDAR. I decided to do this because I'm researching on this technology for some of our future projects for IDM or department, which involves AR. LiDAR has becoming more and more popular and accessible to consumers nowadays. And what's surprising is some of you already have this technology with you, and it's available in your. Can you give a guess? Anybody?
Phone.
Of course, yes, your mobile phones. The newer Apple phones, iPads, and some of the newer Android devices already have this technology a few years back. Okay. Moving on. What is LiDAR? Okay, do an intro. LiDAR is an acronym for light detection and ranging. It is a method for determining ranges of variable distances, far, near, by targeting an object with light, which is laser, which is basically an amplified light source by stimulating emissions and radiation. I will not go to that specific details. And measuring the time when the laser comes back to you. It's similar to radar and sonar. It can also be used to make digital 3D representations of areas on the Earth's surface, ocean bottoms, as mentioned earlier, due to the differences in laser return times. It has terrestrial use also in space, airborne, fixed to helicopter, drones, planes, and mobile applications. Okay, so which is your mobile phone now. Okay, next, how does it work? Okay, I have some diagrams here. A technique based on the principles of reflection. Okay, you send something will come back to you, then you measure. Similar to older technologies like radar, which is over here, and sonar. So radar is an acronym. I do not know whether you guys know what it is. It's radio detection and ranging. Sonar is sound navigation and ranging. So LiDAR is light detection and ranging. So LiDAR use light, radar use radio frequencies. For radar, you emit a radio wave or sound wave for sonar. And when it hits an object or surface, it will reflect back to the source. By measuring the time return, you can determine the distance, range, velocity, size, etc. As you can see in the two diagrams here, the radar is used to detect the airplane, right? And the ship uses the sonar to detect the submarine. So fun fact, speaking of sonar, animals also use sonar to find food and for survival, like navigation. Can you guess which animal use this technique?
Dolphins.
Oh, good. Anybody? Animal? What?
Bats.
Correct. Wow, well done. Okay, yes, dolphin, whales, bats, and a few birds, swiftlets like swallows and early birds. Some shrews and hedgehogs use echolocation to find food. Some people believe that blind people also can echolocate, but do you believe it? I don't know. I do not have in-depth research on this, but it's something interesting. But what I believe, and I find it true, is this. For humans, right, when one of our senses is down, the other senses will be heightened. So like blind people, I think they can hear better and smell better than normal people which can see. So I don't know. Do you agree on this? Hold that thought to yourself, as this is just a rhetorical question. Okay. So moving on, I'm just going to do a short comparison of LiDAR and radar by showing you this diagram. So LiDAR is much more accurate compared to radar and sonar. It can create more defined 3D models, whereas radar, on the other hand, create blocks-like shapes. You can see roughly it's there, but it's not that precise compared to LiDAR. So in LiDAR, you can determine the difference from a hand and a face, position the person is facing, back or front, how many cars in the car park, how many leaves on the branch, you can go to that specific, okay? But radar has much, the advantages is it has much further range than LiDAR, and it's much cheaper. It is also not affected by rain, fog, snow, and other weather conditions. Those things can interfere with light. So you have snow, heavy snow and stuff that light cannot pass through and stuff, so it might affect your reading. So LiDAR is very accurate in terms of detecting small objects due to its short wavelength and can create an actual 3D models of a car, human, for example, but is much more expensive. So radar has better range, okay, cheaper and not affected by weather elements, conversely. But it is not suitable to detect small objects, not accurate and prone to reflection errors. So if you look at this scene here, if you put like a small can there amidst tall buildings, right, that small can be interpreted as one of the buildings, just an example. So generally speaking, either of these systems used in conjunction with few items like GPS, you need to have some sensor like ultrasonic sensor, and also you need to have a camera. Take example for like autonomous vehicles. When you use LiDAR, or you need to link it up to GPS, you need to have these ultrasonic sensors and also the camera. Okay, let's moving on. What do we have next? Okay, usage of LiDAR. LiDAR is not new, though it was first introduced in like way back in like 1960s. That's how far back. Okay, when they first have invented lasers and stuff. In 1960s, they use it mainly by scientists when laser scanners were like mounted on aeroplanes. LiDAR gained popularity only in around the 80s or 90s, which with the introduction of GPS. Where we can use it for calculating accurate geospatial measurements. Now that its scope has spread across numerous fields, from space terrestrial applications to our day-to-day application on Earth, like VR, or like AR. So autonomous vehicles, if you seen a driving self-driving car before, you've probably seen a LiDAR sensors. LiDAR works as an eye of the autonomous vehicle. Imagine if you have like eyes all around you and you see in all directions, you know what is coming here, what's beside you on the left, on the right. So imagine if instead of guessing, you could always know the precise distance of objects in relation to you. So LiDAR enables a self-driving car to view the surrounding with special powers. Talking about building construction, ground-based LiDAR technology can also be used to capture the structure of the building. This digital information can be captured and will be used to do 3D mapping on the ground, so you can create like models of the structure. It's very useful for maintaining a record of the structure for city planning. In terms of agriculture, LiDAR can be used to create 3D elevation maps of a particular land. This can be converted to create slopes, sunlight exposure area maps, so you can see all the different areas on the map that's affected by all these things. This information can also be used to identify areas which requires like more water, more fertilizer, and help like farmers to save on their cost of labor, time and money as well. Modeling pollution, LiDAR wavelength is shorter, right? So it operates in ultraviolet visible region or near infrared. This helps to image like matter which is of the same size or larger than wavelength. So LiDAR can detect pollutant particles of like CO2, carbon dioxide, sulfur dioxide, and methane. This information helps researchers to create pollutant density maps of the area, which can be used for better city planning. In terms of river survey, water penetrating green lights of the LiDAR can be used to see things underwater and helps create a 3D model of the terrain down there. So underwater information of a river can help understand the depth, width, and flow of the water. It helps in monitoring the floodplains of the river. So AR, some of you use this already on your phones, like the IKEA app, where you can put like tables or chairs in your house. Does this look okay here? Before you buy your purchases. So why now on consumer products? You might be wondering why LiDAR now has been used in like consumer electronics. Well, the answer is due to the time of flight, or TOF. Take note of this, TOF applications on phones for AR applications, improving the camera functions. Like face detection and like for those iPhone users or some of the Android users, you have this portrait mode where you can blur the back and focus on the ones in front for your portrait. All these use the TOF systems. So LiDAR is the sensor for this TOF system. That's why it's now on your phones. So LiDAR is the sensor for this system. So LiDAR is the sensor that measures this time of flight, which determines the distance, size of the items in front of it. Okay, now I want to do a compare and contrast. This is much more the interesting bit that's more related to you, not so heavy. Differences between Android and iOS LiDAR sensors. Apple iOS is using multiple points for measurement, while Android is using a blanket of light source for its measurement. Okay, this is Apple's LiDAR. You can see all the small dots, right? You cannot see this. But if you have like infrared camera, you can see all these dots if you switch on the LiDAR sensors. This is for the Apple, and this one is for the Android. You see this massive white light? This is what is coming out from the Android phones. But right, with iPhone, you see all these little dots, which is much more accurate. Okay. Okay. Yeah, this is some examples of what you can see on LiDAR sensors. This is not coming from your phone, but this can be something much more advanced. You can see how accurate the picture is. You can see the cables, you can see the leaves on the trees, lane markings on the road, traffic lights, and nearby cars around you, buildings, and even people near the car that is using this, right? LiDAR sensors. So I think that's the interesting bit. Yes, so I hope you learned a thing or two about LiDAR technology, and this is just like a scratch of the surface. Okay, now let's move on with the quiz. Are you guys ready?
Good share, yes.
Elsa!
The call never bothered me anyway.
Question 1 of 1. Answer before the time runs out. LiDAR is not a new technology. When was LiDAR first used by scientists? Ready? Time starts now. 20 seconds. Is it in the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s? Or is it yesterday?
Yesterday.
Before your time, of course, before everyone's time. Woo! It's in 1960s. Okay, next. Battle is on. Number 2. LiDAR works on the principles of what? Just one word. LiDAR works on the principle of what? How does the technology works? It works on the principle of?
One word.
Just one word.
Cheating.
Cheating. Principle of cheating.
Oh.
Light.
Oh.
Reflection. 3. Pick the false statement. I give you 30 seconds for this. Pick the false statement. A long-range radar system is cheaper than LiDAR. LiDAR has better accuracy and it utilizes a long wavelength. LiDAR is not affected by weather elements compared to LiDAR. LiDAR is used in space for terrestrial application. Which one is wrong?
Wow.
Read again. Compose yourself. Read again.
One, yes.
Up. Number 2. LiDAR has better accuracy and it utilizes short wavelength. It's not long. It's short. Long is radar. Right? Good try.
Okay, I press the resign button already lah.
LiDAR drones and autonomous vehicle system usually used in conjunction with other devices and systems. Name any one of these devices or systems. LiDAR drones and autonomous. On top of LiDAR, you need something else, right? To work. What is that? I give you 3 examples just now. You cannot just use LiDAR or radar, right? You must have some other systems also, right?
They use battery.
I didn't mention battery. But good guess. Of course, they need power. Hello. Camera, correct? Camera. Yeah. iOS, Android, time of flight. No, there's a principle, power. Good try. Camera, I mentioned camera, GPS, and some sensor.
I thought GPS.
Traffic up the games. Yeah. Okay, question 5. Apart from autonomous vehicles and river surveys, name other use of LiDAR.
Oh.
Another use, yeah. I give you, I think, 6 examples, right? 2 of it is already here. 30 seconds. Can think. What? I talk about river. I talk about cars. What other things? This is
sempat lah.
What did I mention just now? I share. There are some other applications, but these are the more common ones that's already being used.
Technically, mine will be accepted also.
Phone I can accept phone. River already mentioned. Building collection, okay, correct. AR application, technically, okay lah. I can give AR application and phone.
I cannot change the lah.
LiDAR is a sensor to measure the time of something in consumer mobile phone. I already give you the answer. What is TOS stands for? Time of?
Time of your life.
Time off. Time off lah. Yeah, give you lah. Like I said lah, every week I give answer. Pick the false statement on the differences between iOS and Android LiDAR sensors. Okay, I show you the two diagrams, right? I think 50% of this, out of these 4 questions, I think 2 you all should know. I can eliminate already lah. So these are the 2, right? So either you all take the third one or the fourth one, right?
Yes.
Yay!
Yes.
Good.
Four.
Okay. Apple LiDAR sensors can scan 360 degrees surrounding on static? No, because just now I mentioned the item must be in front of the camera. The camera cannot scan 360 if it's not moving. Okay, LiDAR needs to move. Unless you put multiple cameras around it, then you can do so. So it's not static. The items that you are scanned must be in front of the lens. Okay. Both systems are using infrared. Laser, I think, too expensive for phones. Question 8.
Oh, I'm the same points as Roger already. Yay, Roger with buddies.
LiDAR radar and sonar works on the principle of reflection for scanning. Some animals use the same principles, which is called what? What's the term? Constipation. Yeah, that's one of it. So that's why some bats are very noisy. When they fly, this is part of it. It's part of navigation. Because at night, you cannot see, right? Okay, I know something here, some tree, don't bang into the tree or something like that.
Yeah, I know. My secondary school got a lot of bats last time.
So
Yeah,
Hannah,
you got a chance.
And now you're too good, you see. Once you get wrong, wow, people want to chase you already.
Again, it's for you. It's
okay.
for you.
Dolphin, sunbirds through echolocation. Name another animal that use echolocation. I give some example lah just now, right? I should give answer for this already.
Technically, bats counts as birds, right?
No lah. Bats, no lah. I don't think so. Bats mammal, right?
It's bird, man.
No lah, birds.
I don't know. I'm just asking.
Whales.
Mine is one letter off. I wrote bat.
Can everybody got it correct. Yeah.
Roger, baseball bat.
Oh,
All right, last question. Go all out. Come on.
Cannot catch already lah.
That is acronym for lah. It's not easy lah. You should know lah.
Hannah automatically false answer.
Hannah don't answer. Give them some entertainment.
What's this?
If not, she win every time I.
Acronym.
Hannah, only hear the positive things, Hannah. Don't listen to the negative things. What does LiDAR stand for? Time's up! Let's see. Light detection and ranging. Light detection and range. Light detection and ranging. Raging. Who is the raging one? Who's angry?
Me. I type too fast.
Why you angry, Joel? Alamak. Okay, everybody got the answer. And the winner is...
congratulations!
It's Hannah. Whoa. Ta-da!
Okay. Next week's presentation, I shall give only open-ended answers.
Hannah, give tips, Hannah. People want to get more points. Come on, Hannah.
I don't like open-ended.
Yes.
Give us some tips. How you can remember all these things? Because we all want to learn. Share the good things. Sharing is caring.
Caring is sharing.
Caring is sharing. Caring is sharing.
Type slowly.
Type slowly, Oh, composure lah. Steady, be cool and compose lah. Oh, okay guys, be cool and compose. Joel, don't type so fast. You're raging.
Don't need to raging.
Don't rage out. Thank you for watching this video, and we hope you have learned a thing or two about today's subject and how many questions you managed to answer. Did you manage to beat Hannah?
No.
No. So check out this channel and remember to subscribe to get notified on our latest content. Stay hungry for knowledge and keep learning. With that, PixelStudio signing off. Take care, everyone, and bye for now. Bye, everyone. Wave. Bye. Okay, time for lunch. Bye-bye. Thanks, guys.
Okay, bye.
Are you perspiring, Hafiz?
Hello?
Okay, bye-bye.